Hi everyone, my name is Ashley with Clover Patch Knits and I'm back for episode 7 of my podcast. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are returning back to my channel, thank you for returning back to my channel. But if you are new here on this channel, I do talk about everything great and wonderful regarding knit and crochet. So if that's your hobby or you just want to learn about the world of these amazing hobbies, I know you will love this channel. So you all, I have been waiting to film a podcast episode because I've been working on a few things that I have been wanting to show you all. But before I show you all what I have been working on, do you all notice something that I am wearing in this episode? You all, I am wearing my Monday sweater by Petite Knit. Now, you all know I spent months and months and months working on this sweater, but man, this sweater is so amazing. Like, I love this sweater that I can like roll up my sleeves and be super comfortable. It is like an amazing pullover, and I cannot go on and on and on about how amazing the Monday sweater is, and I love it. So if you have never made a Monday sweater by Petite Knit, you should make yourself one. But now I'm gonna show you what I have been working on. Now you all, this pattern is so amazing and beautiful, but I am not gonna lie, I had to restart this tee like almost 6 or 7 times and I almost gave up, but I'm so glad I didn't. Now that tee that almost had me like give up is the Salty Air tee by Samantha Guerin. Now let me show you, because this, oh my god, the pictures of this pattern are so beautiful, but like when I show you all, beautiful. Like, look at all my stitch markers on there, you all, but look at that beautiful lace chart. Like, isn't that beautiful? And I love this color. I am using the Sandness Garn, their linen yarn. I can't remember the color that I'm using, but once I find the color, I will put it in the description box below so you can all check that yarn out. And also, Sandness Garn yarn is so wonderful to work with. Like, I have had no splitting with this yarn, and that makes me so excited because I have had other issues with other brands of yarns with similar fiber that did split, but I've had no issues. So amazing yarn. But I just have to show you all again because I think it's so beautiful and I cannot wait to finish this. Now let me go into why I had to restart this beauty like 6 or 7 times. So when I bought the pattern and read the pattern has super simple stitches. Like, if you are a beginner, you can definitely do this. Now when I say beginner, not someone who's like still trying to figure out how to hold the needles and yarn together, but if you have made like 1 or 2 projects, you can definitely make this tee because the stitches are so simple. Now when I read the pattern, I just knew, I was like, okay, I can totally like work on this while I'm watching a movie or a TV show. Well, to my surprise, that is not how that went, because the lace chart, now I have not worked on anything like lace in years, okay, and anything charted in like a couple years. So I forgot how you really have to concentrate. So that is why I had to restart, because I was not concentrating, and so I kept making little mistakes. So I had to, of course, restart. But if I would have concentrated, I probably could have been done with the body of my tee. And that is what I love about this project too, because it shouldn't take you long. If you concentrate on the lace section, it should not take you long. But if you are going to make this tee, you have to be prepared to concentrate, because let me explain when I say concentrated. So with the lace section, when I started the lace chart, I started with 100, not 100, it was actually 266 stitches. So I had 48 rows of lace like chart and section that I needed to complete for my size, because I'm making size 4 and I believe that's like a size medium. So like I said, I had 48 rows of lace charts that I needed to finish, and by the time that I am done with my lace chart, I should have 350 stitches. So yeah, it is a lot, because the lace chart, even though it's simple stitches, you are repeating simple stitches for like a very long time, and so it is easy to make a mistake. So like I said, if you want to make this pattern, just be prepared that you are going to have to concentrate, because it did throw me for a loop, because I have just been working on like mindless knitting projects for the past months. So to get back into a pattern where I really had to like concentrate and think about what I was doing, I was like, okay, I really gotta concentrate, but I love this pattern and I think it's so beautiful. And also what I learned this week, I did not know the Salty Air Tee has a long sleeve version. So that is amazing. So if you want to make yourself a tee or a long sleeve, or if you want to make yourself both, you have the option to do that. Now, the next thing that I started working on, y'all, I'm actually really proud of myself because this year for me was the year of stepping out of my comfort zone. And before I show you all what I have been working on next, I want to know, what was one of your goals? Put in the comments below, what was one of your goals for this year? And I want to also know, are you still working on that goal, or did you just like throw in the towel? Are you no longer working on that goal? If you're no longer working on that goal, that is totally okay, because sometimes that just happens. Like, some goals are not meant for you to continue throughout the remaining of the year. So that's okay if you're not. But I do want to know, what was one of your goals for this year? Because that was one of mine, is a step out of my comfort zone. Because I have shared how I prefer to be more of a monogamous knitter. Like, that's just how it was for years. I only worked on one project, but I said for 2025 for me, I am stepping out and I'm going to work on multiple projects at the same time. So when I show you all this, do not laugh, because of course, before I filmed this episode, I was farther along in this thing that I have been working on. But of course I had to restart. You all, I feel like that is the thing for me this year, is restarting my projects, which it is okay, because sometimes when you restart, you get to learn things and you get to be like, okay, this didn't work for me, so the next time I do it, I can do it better. So it's okay to restart. But that has been definitely a theme for me, and a theme for me slightly last year, where I just had to restart my projects, but it's okay. So the project that I have been working on is the Palm Springs tank by Leslie. I'm gonna look at my notes so I won't forget her last name. It's Leslie Forrester. Y'all, looking at my notes, I'm so old school, like I write down what I'm gonna talk about in this episode. But it's the Palm Springs tank by Leslie Forrester. I love this tank. Oh my gosh, I love it. And this is my tank top, y'all. I can't wait to wear my tank top because it's done. So no, it's not done. But this is my little piece of tank top, you all. Can you believe that this little piece that I'm working on is going to turn into my back panel? That is why I love knitting, because I'm watching like magic in front of my eyes that I'm bringing to life. Like, to think that this little strip is going to turn into a back panel and the whole thing is going to turn into a tank top is so amazing. Like, that's why this hobby is wonderful. But this is as far as I have gotten on my Palm Springs tank. And you all, so when I decided that I was going to start working on my Palm Springs tank, I was like, okay, let me read over the pattern. So when I read over the pattern, I definitely did get a little bit nervous. Let me tell you why. Because you all, when I started reading the pattern, I was like, wait, this has constructions that like I have never worked on before. So I was like, wait, maybe I need to like hold off on making the Palm Springs tank and try to find like a knit tank top that's a little bit easier. But I said, no, you are not going to doubt yourself and you are going to start on this tank top. And I did, you all. And guess what? Like, the pattern is not even hard so far. It's been very easy. So that is another thing. Like, do not doubt yourself, because sometimes you can look at something and think it may be harder until you start doing it and you're like, it's not even that hard. And sometimes you may miss out on wonderful things in life by doubting yourself. So don't do that. I'm going to show you all the yarn that I've been using for my Palm Springs tank. I've talked about this yarn in another episode, my last episode rather, but now I can give like more of an opinion on how I like the yarn. Now this is the Knit Picks Fingering. It is their comfy yarn and this is in their color Marlin. Now you all, when I got this yarn, it was on sale, which makes me super excited. I think it was either $6.49 or around $7, but I love that I got this yarn on sale because so far working with this yarn has honestly been amazing. Now I'm not sure how this yarn is going to hold up when I start wearing my Palm Springs tank, but so far it has been great. Something interesting I have noticed about this yarn, and it is, even though it's fingering weight, this fingering weight yarn is a lot thicker than what I am used to, because it is definitely a lot thicker than my Sandness Garn linen yarn that I'm using For my salty air tea, this one is definitely a lot thicker. So even though when I'm knitting with this yarn it feels thick, when I feel like the yarn on my Palm Springs tank, on my little section right here, it does not feel thick at all, which I think that is super interesting. So if you have like a pattern where maybe it's requiring like a light DK weight yarn, you probably could use this yarn. Now of course you will want to check your gauge just to make sure everything's working okay. Now you all, that's another thing, I never check my gauge. I know that's so horrible, but I never do, and that's another thing I actually need to learn how to do, that is check my gauge, because there probably will be a time where I need to know how to do that, but I never check my gauge. But as I was working on my Palm Springs tank, I did realize that I probably should find a tank top, a knit tank top that is just super simple, beginner friendly, just so I can understand how knit tank top constructions work. Because as I was reading the Palm Springs tank like pattern, I was confused. I'm like, how is this little section going to turn into a back panel? So what I did was I found like a super beginner knit tank top pattern, and the great thing about this pattern is that there is a video on YouTube, which I'm sure you all have seen this video because it's super popular, but it's a video on YouTube, and also it's a free pattern. But the pattern is from Knit Crow Addict, and it's the classic knit tank top. Now you can also buy this pattern for $5 on, I know it's on Ravelry, and I saw it on Etsy, and I'm sure other websites also have the pattern if you want to buy this tank top. And you use DK yarn, and you use 3.7 millimeter needles to do this pattern. So it's wonderful because, like I said, if you are a beginner, this is great. You get a free pattern and you have a video to go along with the free pattern. So this is great. I have not started on this just yet, but the yarn that I'm going to use for this tank top, this yarn came from Hobby Lobby. I think this color is super cute. This is their, I believe this is Hobby Lobby's yarn collection, not sure about that, but this is their Baby Bee yarn in the color French Field, and I love this color. It has like a purplish kind of tint to it, but I also got this yarn on sale, so that makes me super excited. Now, if you are not sure what Hobby Lobby is, or maybe you do not have one, Hobby Lobby is like the amazing craft store. Like, they have everything you can think of. Even like they have some house decor there. They already have their fall decorations out, but they have everything, like, when I say everything craft related, everything there. And I do not know why I have not shopped at Hobby Lobby more. Like, I have had Hobby Lobby where I live at for a few years now, and I've only gone a handful of times, but I'm like, I have to start shopping at Hobby Lobby because they also sell fabric at Hobby Lobby. Now, that was another thing I'm debating about getting back into, is sewing. Now, when I say getting back into, I'm technically gonna have to learn how to sew, because the last time I like sewed something, I probably was about 8 years old, and it was like a pillow. So I would have to learn like how to sew, because if I do pick up sewing, of course I'm gonna try to make myself like some clothes or something. But so yeah, I gotta definitely start shopping at Hobby Lobby because they also have like great coupons. So if you have a Hobby Lobby where you stay and you have not like went to Hobby Lobby, you have to go to Hobby Lobby because they have great yarn selection and so many other amazing things there as well. So that's the pattern that I plan on starting on. I feel like that should be super simple. Like, when I read that pattern from Knit Crow Addict, it definitely looks a little bit similar than the Palm Springs tank. So can't wait to start on that one. Now, there are 2 other patterns that I found. You all, this is why I have to stay off the internet, because I'm just always finding new patterns and new ways to spend more money. But it is okay, because the money is going to things that I love, so it's okay. But the first pattern that I have been waiting to share with you all, it is called Wake Up with an exclamation mark. Now, I love the name of that pattern, but it is by Sasha Hivory, and I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your last name. But for this pattern, you use fingering weight yarn, and this pattern is $7.55 US dollars, and you use a 3.5 millimeter needle. And this sweater is top-down construction, and the great thing about this pattern is you can make this tee into short sleeve, or if you want to make it long sleeve, you can do that as well. And I mean, it is wonderful. Like, who does not love a pattern where you can make short sleeve or long sleeve? So you're getting like 2 projects out of one pattern. So I think that is amazing. Now, have not like started on this one yet either, but I feel like the way things are going with what I'm currently working on, I probably can add one more project on my list of things I want to make this year. So I might add this on my 2025 list, because I feel like this pattern would be like a super mindless type of knit. Like, I could definitely feel like I can make this pattern just from reading the pattern. I feel like I can make this tee while I'm watching a movie or something like that, and it'd be super simple. Now, the next pattern that I found, you all, I have to give a backstory. So with this pullover that I found, when I told you, like, literally for the last 3 years, I have trying to find a pattern that looks like this, because my sister has a sweater very similar to this pullover, and I love that sweater. But when I looked at the sweater, I'm like, I can either knit this or crochet this. So the pattern that was released this year that looks exactly like the sweater that I've been trying to make is the High Falls Pullover by Andrea Gal. Man, I love this pattern. Like, when I saw that this pattern was releasing, I like almost cried because I was so excited. I was like, yes, this is what I have been looking for the last 3 years. Now, this pattern is $10 US. Now, I got this pattern like the week that it released, so she did have like a discount code, but it is $10 US, and you use sport weight yarn for this pattern, and you use, looks like you're using 2 sets of needles, but you're using 2.75 millimeter and 3.5 millimeter needles for this pullover. Now, I have not read this pattern to its full entirety, so I'm not even sure about the construction of this pattern, but I love this. So if you need some like pullovers in your closet, I think this would be a great project. Now, I'm not sure if this is beginner friendly, but I think it is very, very cute. Now, last thing, you all, I have just been watching so many movies, so I am going to share with you all some movies that I have like recently watched that I think you all would love. Now, the first movie that I watched, now this just popped up on my Netflix, but it is called Wedding Season. Oh my god, you all. So if you love romance movies, I love romance movies, but this is almost Wedding Season. Now, you can find this movie on Netflix, and I think this movie is also on YouTube, and if you have YouTube TV, you can find this movie there as well. Now, the movie Wedding Season is almost slightly like on the rom-com level, but this movie had me laughing. It's such a cute movie, and so if you love romance movies, you have to check this movie out. Now, the next movie that I saw, this movie came out this year, and this movie is only on Netflix. Oh man, this movie, when I say had me in tears, like, it is such an amazing movie. It is called Nonnas. I was blown away by this movie. Like, this is this movie is just, it is so wonderful because it is basically about family and just following your dreams. So if you ever have like family movie night, this will be a great movie to watch with your family, or you could just watch it with yourself, because that's what I did, and I love the movie. Now, the next movie that I have like seen probably about 5 times within like 2 weeks is Pride and Prejudice. Now, this is a classic movie. Now, you can find this movie on Netflix, and sadly, oh, it makes me so sad because Netflix is taking this movie off, I believe, at the end of this month in May. So if you have Netflix, you have to go watch it like very soon because it's going to be off of Netflix. But you can still find Pride and Prejudice. If you have HBO Max, you can find it there. Amazon Prime, you can literally find Pride and Prejudice everywhere because it is such a classic movie. But every time I watch Pride and Prejudice, you all, I re-fall in love with that movie. Like, when I tell you that movie is on my top 5 list of favorite movies, it's such an amazing movie because it also is a romance movie, but it is not just about romance. It's about friends and family, and it's just amazing. And most time when I watch that movie, I end up crying at one part of the movie or another, but I love that movie. And it is crazy to think that Pride and Prejudice came out in 2005. And what's even crazier to think is that 2005 was 20 years ago. Like, that blows my mind. Like, movie theaters were bringing Pride and Prejudice back this year for their 20th anniversary, and I'm like, 2005 was 20 years ago. That was crazy to me. Now, the next movie that I went to go see, now I saw this one at the movie theaters. This was the Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. Now, you all, if you are like Mission Impossible fan, you love the Mission Impossible series, I mean, of course, you have to go see the final Mission Impossible movie. Now, it is kind of sad that this is their last movie. Now, this movie is 2 hours and 50 minutes. And when I tell you, it did not feel long at all. Because, you know, some movies, like when they get over like the 2 hour mark, like 2 hour and 30 minutes, sometimes they can feel super long. This movie did not feel long at all because this movie is action-packed. So if you love an action movie, this is a great movie for you to see. And there is nothing like seeing a Mission Impossible movie like actually in the theaters. Okay, the experience of watching Mission Impossible was so amazing. Like I said, action-packed. Thoroughly enjoyed the movie, and actually I have not seen all of the Mission Impossible movies, but watching the last movie, The Final Reckoning, it makes me want to go back and watch the other Mission Impossible movies that I have never seen. So such a great movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and the last movie series that I have been binging on. You all, I have seen this movie series probably about 8 times at this point, and I think this movie series has about 8 or 7 movies in it. So I've seen this movie series a lot. Now, this movie series, I would have to say, in my personal opinion, I think it's one of the best movie series that have ever been put out. But it is Harry Potter. You all, I'm watching Harry Potter on Disney Plus, but you can also find Harry Potter mostly on everywhere because it is such a popular movie. Now, if you have never seen Harry Potter, you have to see Harry Potter at least once in your lifetime if you have never seen it. And then if you have seen the Harry Potter movies and you haven't seen it in a long time, this is your little nudge to watch Harry Potter again. You all, every time I watch Harry Potter, I fall more and more in love with the movie series. Like Harry Potter, it is filled with so much magical, like, wonderfulness. I'm just like, how could somebody not like this movie? Which I understand, some people don't like the movie, but it's so amazing to me. So I think I am on, what is that, movie number, is that movie number 6? I'm on the Half-Blood Prince. I think that's movie number 6. But I love Harry Potter, and I want to know, if you love Harry Potter, I want to know, what is your favorite Harry Potter movie? And also, if you have read all the Harry Potter books and watched all of the Harry Potter movies, I want to know, what do you think is better? Is the books better or the movie? Because I have only like ever read 2 of the Harry Potter books, but I've seen all the movies. So I'm just gonna be biased and pick the movies because I need to finish reading all the books. But I love Harry Potter. Like, I have Harry Potter, I have like a Harry Potter cauldron in my room. It's like a cauldron mug. It's so cute. And then I also bought Harry Potter like Hogwarts gloves from the Hogwarts store, so I could wear those in the winter. Like, I just love Harry Potter. So like I said, if you have never seen Harry Potter, you have to watch the movie because it's amazing. And literally around like when it gets warm, summertime, I always like binge watch the series. That's just my little tradition. I always binge watch the series. But if you have never seen it, you have to watch it. So you all, we have made it to the end of this episode. If you have stayed this long to watch the full episode, thank you so much. And if you liked and enjoyed this episode, you can give me a like and a subscribe. And also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can find me at Clover Patch Knits on Instagram as well. And then I'm also over there on Ravelry at Clover Patch Knit, not with an S on the end, but you can find me there as well. Even though I don't post much on Ravelry, I need to, but you can find me there as well, and you can find me there on Instagram as well. But I will see you all next time. Bye.